Mazezoke, once more on infrastructure inspection in the southeast. Here is Enugu International Airport. The pictures you're looking at, this is how the Enugu International Airport was August 2020 when it was commissioned. And everyone was angry. Njenje media too was also angry because we saw scaffoldings everywhere and no one liked what they saw. We berated the government. Many of us called in names, but it is always good to go back to issues when they are resolved. As we always say in Igbo language, we brought you pictures when the environment looked like a war zone. Here in Enugu, again, January 2021. Mazezoke was here live and he visited this place to look at the airport toilet that they promised was going to be fixed with the removal of the scaffolding and the claddings, that is the ceiling. You can see clearly that the ceiling has been removed, that is the old ceiling that made it look tattered. Surprisingly, they used what I consider a better material for the ceiling. Up you can see they've used wooden ceiling and I must say it looked nice. Again, for many of you who will begin to compare these airports with Port Harcourt or Abuja International Airport, please note this is still the local wing of the Enugu Airport. The international wing of that airport is still under construction and only God knows when that completion would happen because of the amount needed for that to be completed. On this date, I came here, I took pictures, I took videos, and I went into the toilets to look at how this toilet that we were told is COVID compliant, how they checked out. Join me in that. So this one is still under construction. And this is called the VIP. So that you don't need to touch anything and water should run, soap dispenser should work. And I was told this particular one here was still under construction, that is not been finished. Looking at what they are doing, I kind of told myself, well, that's usually what happens in Nigeria. There is nothing different. The seats you're looking at are the seats that came out of the VIP lounge, which is still under repair. The ceiling, again, like the outer terminal building was done, the ceiling inside were also removed and put new ones put in there. You can see here, this is the international departure, the old international departure wing basically. And here we've gone back again to the toilets, and these toilets, yes, these toilets are under construction. And I must note here that this work that is going on, both the toilet work and the ceiling, that is the claddings, these were not done by the federal government. I was told these were done by the Enugu state government. They had to bring out the money to do this, probably because of the public outcry. I don't know. But because the federal government said they had no money to do this internal work were not part of the runway repair which was done. Now the Enugu state government felt, well, this is in our state, we have to do it and we can do it right. That's how Enugu state government came into the picture and they've paid for this work. Again, the work is ongoing. If you look at it, you can see that in some areas they've used marble tiles, and in some areas you can see where they also have sections where the Muslims can, obviously after doing their businesses, they can use water to clean up. Again, I questioned what this drum was doing there. I was told it's part of what they use in their work. Trying to test so that As noted before, on my left is where the Muslims use in washing their legs, hands before they go for Jumat prayers. And here are the COVID compliant urinaries. I tested them. Some of them, sadly, weren't working. So I had to call the attention of the facility manager to come check them out. Let's say this one, once I tested it, this one was actually working. Again, this one I tested, it wasn't working. I had to call the attention once more of the facility manager to take note of those that weren't working. At the end of the day, it felt as if I came to project manage whatever they've done. This is the one that is in use today. So if you go to Enugu International Airport, this is the one that is in use. I'm trying to see also if the hand dryer is working and getting into the toilet to look at how the toilet, how clean the toilet was. Again, one thing that many people don't know is that there is no single water in Enugu International Airport. There is no single water in there. What they do is that tankers still bring in water. Every single water that is being used at the Enugu International Airport is brought in by the tankers in their 1,500 liters or 2,000 liter truck. And they put them in reservoir, pump them up and use them. What an awkward way to run an international airport. Here I was let into the new VIP area and I had the view of a Dana airline that just landed when passengers are disembarking. And I looked around. I thought to myself, for the first time it struck me how tiny and small this airport is. This is indeed a very small airport, but what else can we do? The southeast is also a very small area. I think Enugu State is slightly over 7,000 kilometers square. Having seen the departure toilets, it is now time to go over to the arrival section of the Enugu International Airport. At the arrival section, that is, when people come into Enugu, if they want to use toilets, where they go, and that includes where people from international flight come in and where they stay. Sadly, at the moment, because of COVID-19, there is no international flight coming to Enugu. Again, I went into testing. I can see most of them weren't working. I had to call back again the facility manager, whom at the point of leaving Enugu International Airport, I know I have made no friend because I kept calling him saying this wasn't working. This wasn't working. In Nigeria, as it were, no one actually wants you to tell them or point out on things that doesn't work. But my job for the Great Igbo Nation is actually to begin to look at these infrastructures, the little we have, and begin to hold those who are responsible for them accountable. That's all. That's the reason why I spend my resources, drive around and do this video, is that people begin to take responsibilities. And here is the facility manager arguing that it worked in the morning, but it's no longer working at the point Mazezoke was there. I believe now everything has been fixed. Again, before I left that part, this is the new departure lounge. The departure lounge is much better than it was. Again, note again, people, this is still the local wing of the Enugu International Airport. The international terminal that we hope will not be different from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, the best two international airports that we have in Nigeria today, must meet those standards. Anything less than that, it's something that we should never accept. Again, at the point of where the people are taking their luggages, you can see everyone waiting patiently to pick their luggage. These were the Dana flights passengers that arrived. I don't know, I thought someone said they arrived from Lagos, but I had no way to confirm, which is also at the moment not relevant. Many of my viewers would not be happy for me to have visited Enugu International Airport without going to the international terminal section. Now, this is not, the international wing in the local airport. That is, if Ethiopian Airlines flies into Nigeria, this is where the immigration will clear them. You can see here that the carousel or the conveyor belt is all muddy and dusty. So I asked them, because the federal government is thinking about opening opening Kano International Airport, Port Harcourt, Omowa, and Akano Ibiam Enugu. And I asked them, if the federal government opens up here today, what is going to happen? Are you guys ready? I was told, whoa, they are ready, that they can clean up this place within 48 hours to allow flights to land. Again, in Nigeria, as usual, no one actually gets something ready. They all want to do lastminute.com. I was expecting a clean environment where people will come on in the morning. Yes, flights are not running, but I had expected that people will still come out there and do their normal duties. On leaving the airport, this is how the airport looked from the outside as of the time I left that airport. I believe by now all these things would have been cleared. Once more, this is Mazi Ezoke.
La 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 la.